Hey guys, we're back with another video. This one is called Similar Figures. This is Level 10, Stage 2, 7th grade math. Taking a look at our overview, we are now on Stage 2 of 3, Similar Figures. Taking a look at our state standards, we're going to solve problems involving scale drawings of geometric figures, including computing actual lengths and areas from a scale drawing and reproducing a scale drawing at a different scale. Our Stage 2 overview for the villains. What is a similar figure? What are corresponding sides? What is a scale factor? And for the cheat codes, how do you find the missing dimension of a similar figure? Vocabulary. A similar figure is when two figures have the same shape but are proportional in size. Think of Alice in Wonderland and how she would get bigger, she would get smaller, but she was still proportional in size. Corresponding sides are the sides of a shape that are proportional to one another. Much like Alice in Wonderland's arms were corresponding. Her short arm was corresponding to her long arm, and her short leg was corresponding with her long leg. And a scale factor is the rate that both sets of measurements are multiplied by. Missing dimension. How do you find the missing dimension of a similar figure? Step number 1, make a tic-tac-toe board. Step number 2, under the smiley face, write down height and base. Step number 3, next to the smiley face, write down figure 1 and figure 2. Step number 4, fill in the tic-tac-toe board with numbers. Step number 5, cross multiply. And step number 6, divide by the coefficient. Let's take a look at example number 1. Find the height of the triangle. Well, the first figure, figure 1, has a height of 3 feet and a base of 4 feet. The second triangle has a base of 20 centimeters, but we don't know how tall it is. Well, we can go ahead and use proportions to help us find that answer. Let's set up a tic-tac-toe board to figure this out. We're going to put a smiley face in the top left corner, figure 1 and figure 2 at the top. Height and base are going to go on the left side. So for that first figure, remember it had a height of 3 and a base of 4. For the second figure, the bigger one, we didn't know what its height was, but we did know that it had a base of 20. So what we're going to do here is simply multiply the 3 by the 20, and that is going to get us 60. We're going to multiply 4 times x to get 4x. 4x is equal to 3 times 20, which is 60. Divide that by the coefficient, divide both sides by 4, and we find out that x is 15. We now know the height of the second figure. It's 15 centimeters. Example number 2. Find the value of r. So we've got two similar triangles. We have a diagonal of 10 yards, a base of 8 yards. We have a base of r and a diagonal of 5 yards. We're going to set up a tic-tac-toe board to solve this problem. So we're going to write down figure 1 and figure 2, but instead of putting base and height, we're going to say diagonal and base. The diagonal was 10, and the base was 8 for figure number 1. For figure number 2, our smaller figure, the diagonal was only 5. So how long is the length of the base? Well, we're going to multiply the 8 times the 5 to get 40, and we multiply 10 times r to get 10r. We'll divide both sides by 10, and we find out that r is worth 4. That means the value of r is 4 yards. Example number 3. Find the length of side n. So a lot of kids get really confused here, and I want you to observe that there are two triangles here. Here is one triangle, And then we've got a second triangle right here. It's overlapping. So there's two triangles, a yellow triangle and a blue triangle. For yellow triangle, we don't know its base. We don't know what n is, but for yellow triangle, it has a height of 9. For the blue triangle, the bigger triangle, it has a base of 16 and a height of 12. A height of 12. So you can kind of disregard the 3. That's not even going to be part of our tic-tac-toe board. All right, so we're setting up our tic-tac-toe board with figure 1 and figure 2, height and base. The height of figure number 1 is 12, and the base is 16. That was for our blue triangle, the bigger triangle. For the smaller triangle, it had a height of 9. So the base is probably going to be smaller than 16. Let's go ahead and cross multiply 16 times 9, and we're going to cross multiply 12 times n. When we multiply 16 times 9, we get 144. Next thing we're going to do is divide that by 12, and we get 12. So that means that the value of n is 12 meters. Be careful. A common mistake that students make when solving for similar figures is that they use addition or subtraction to solve for a missing side. Don't do that. Be sure to remember to use multiplication or division because similar figures are proportional. And finally, our motivational poster of the day. Which step have you reached today? Where are you? Are you on step number 1, giving up? This guy says, I won't do it. Maybe you're on step number 2, you're doubting yourself. I can't do it. Or possibly on step number 3, I want to do it. Maybe you're on step number 4 and you're planning. How do I do it? Maybe you're on step number 5. I'll try to do it. You're in the trying phase. Step number 6, believing. I can do it. Step number 7, determination. I will do it. But it's step number 8 at the top, accomplishment, where you get to say, yes, I did it. And that's the best step of all, is when you get to that sense of accomplishment. Well, please join us in video number 3 so that we can accomplish the rest of this unit. I'll see you then. See ya!